Hello, I'm the Raging Beard, this is the Raging Cat, and welcome to part 1 of the Road to Thruxton. What is the Road to Thruxton? Well, I was lucky enough last year to have been gifted a supercar experience at the track of Thruxton. What I do, I thought I'd just turn it into a bit of a 3-part series and see if I can use my experience in sims to improve my time on track. I've never done a track day. The closest I've been, I think, I sat as a passenger once in a Lotus Elise around Silverstone. That's it. No track time in real life. So today we're going to look at Thruxton, a bit of history, look at the track itself and the cars that I get to drive. Part 2 will be really trying a hot lap and really put some time in and learn the track, and part 3 will be the onboard footage itself and my thoughts on whether or not this is all paid off. So my actual date is towards the end of May, so I've got a couple of months. I'm going to try and trim down a little bit as well. I'm sure they cater for larger guys, being an experienced day and all, but don't want to be too uncomfortable in that seat. So yeah. So let's take a look at Thruxton. Thruxton Motorsport Centre is situated here in the UK in the south of England in the county of Hampshire and is located near the picturesque village of Thruxton. It is perhaps most notable now for hosting both the British Touring Car and British Superbike Championships. Originally a 1942 World War II airfield, RAF Thruxton, it was no longer needed after the war and ended up in private hands. In April of 1950 its first motorcycle race took place, with the circuit consisting of the runways and perimeter roads. Cars joined in the action 2 years later, but by 1964 the future looked bleak for Thruxton due to the deteriorating runway surfaces. However, in 1966 Goodwood had finished with racing and the British Automobile Racing Club had its eye on Thruxton as their new home. Much fundraising and renovating later, Thruxton was ready for the start of the 1968 season, now avoiding the runways altogether and following the perimeter roads completely. Of course they added in a few new corners, pit facilities and a chicane, but the circuit now remains much the same as it did half a century ago. Indeed, at the opening ceremony of the new Thruxton Centre in 2018, commentating legend Murray Walker himself stated, "Looking back, I can't think of any other track that has changed as little as Thruxton has. It's the same now as I always remember it, which is one of its great strengths." Okay, so let's first check out what my experience will include. If you've ever checked out track day experiences, you'll know that most of the time you get very little time on track. Thruxton seems pretty good in that regard. It's a pretty long track. It's nearly 3.8 kilometers, 2.4 miles, and according to this, get around 12 laps, 2.25 or so hours on track. Max mileage 28.8 miles, but that's pretty good. A pretty good amount of time on track. So the day will start with me getting driven around by an instructor in a Skoda, 3 laps instructor will drive. Then I jump into a Porsche Cayman and I'll drive that for 3 laps, followed by 5 laps in a Formula Renault, and finally back in another Skoda, an Octavia VRS fast lap with the instructor driving, which I guess after you've driven you think you're the bee's knees, then the instructor shows you no you're not. So maybe you calm down a little bit and you don't bin it on the way home. Maybe that's the plan. So yeah, this is the experience. Porsche Cayman, Formula Renault. Porsche Cayman, 2.9 litre, 261 bhp, 163 mile an hour, 0 to 60 5.8. Formula Renault 1.7 litre, 130 brake horsepower, 140 miles per hour, 4.5 second, 0 to 60. So I'm obviously going to see what I can get hold of similar to these in sims. I think the Assetto Corsa's got a Cayman anyway. I don't know what year it is. Not that's going to matter. It's something relatively similar. Whether I'll find a Formula Renault or not, otherwise I'll just find a relatively low powered open wheeler. Go with that. So right, let's take a look at the track. Okay, we only need a quick look at the track map to see why it's often referred to as one of the fastest tracks in the UK. 2.34 miles long, and a vast majority of it is comprised of long, fast, sweeping bends. Now there's no way I'm going to remember all these corner names here looking at this map, so I'm going to turn on track description and the track map in Assetto Corsa. Okay, and here we are in the pit box at Thruxton. This track comes courtesy of James Skinner and is downloadable at racedepartment.com. It hasn't been uploaded since 2017, but I guess it doesn't need to be. It seems pretty awesome. You can see the Thruxton flag there waving away. I have got the motion rig on, hopefully that's not too loud. I can't really drive without it, it's horrible now. Okay, I'm in a Mazda MX-5 or Miata to the Americans. I've got track description and track map on. Now I'm not really looking here to learn the track as such, certainly not hot lapping. That'll be for part 2, when I'm hopefully in vehicles more suitable to the track day experience. This is just a little have a look what this mod is like and get a little feel for the track. There's certainly a lot of runoff on the right anyway. So track names are working, which is nice. Track description, I should say. Alright, now remembering the track map that we looked at, this is coming into the very first super quick bit, I believe. Yeah, Goodwood on, so do I just keep it flat out? Yeah, it is, there is still, oh hello, the flying still does go for me. I think there's flying school or something, so it is still used as an airfield as well when there's not track days going on. A few aircraft there. So this is the chicane, is it? It's Club Chicane. Where's the pit entry as well? Pit entry is just on the right there after the Club Chicane. Okay, on the start finish straight. This is a nice track. I mean, you can look at the video of the opening of the new building with Nigel Mansell and Murray Walker, and Nigel Mansell has nothing but good things to say about Thruxton. And of course Ayrton Senna's driven here. There is a video of him in an interview being asked what sort of speeds do you think Formula 1 will get up to when it comes here, but sadly Formula 1 never came to Thruxton. Well, the cars have. Formula 1 cars have been round, but not actually in the championship. Damon Hill turned up and drove his Formula 1 car around to see what speeds he could get to. Probably similar speed to what I'm doing now. Yeah, no one's No one's come out today. They'll all be here for the next one. They'll all be here. Selling tickets. The marshal's happy. There's a lot of staff on just for me. Who's footing the bill for all this? Right, let's be honest, this is probably more like it. I would have put the roof up by now. God damn, does this look amazing. Village. Should look up why these corners are called what they are. Don't see a village there. Church. Is there a church? Guess in real life there's a church nearby. See, I'm getting a bit wet here. Having not been updated and whatnot in a while, there is no lighting at night. Well, there's no. I don't know if there's in real life, but obviously there's no floodlights or anything. But nothing really lights up. But you know, that's to be expected, and that may well be true to life. Okay, so I pulled in, thought I'd dry off. I've actually changed my race suit here, and it's turned into a pretty nice evening. Obviously got Mordor there over in front of us, and the track's dried out nicely. Let's give this another go. So Allard. Into Campbell. Into Cobb. Into Seagrove. Watching the track description rather than the track. Into Noble. Into Goodwood. So far so good. Into Village. Into Church. To Brooklands. Getting ahead of myself. Yeah, Brooklands is to Woodham Hill. Something is lit over there. To Woodham Hill. And to Club Chicane. Is that what it's called? Yes. I don't think I'll be doing this on my track day. This is what I came in. We brought the second truck just in case, you know, if I really bin this, I've got another MX-5 in there. No expense spared. Yeah, see the Porsche clubs here as well. It's only red cars allowed today. It's just Red Car Wednesday. Toilets. Yeah. Oh. Don't go in there. Do not go in there. You could do some cam block styley stuff around here. You knew what you were doing. Can you go under the wing? Yes. Well, we've had a look at the track. Pretty much learned the corner names, and it's a pretty good mod all in all. The track itself is nice, and just the surrounding scenery, quite sparse, but then from what I've seen in real life it looks to be pretty much the feel of what's real. So yeah, if you're still with me, I thank you for watching, and I hope you'll be around for part 2, when I'll be trying to find a suitable car, Porsche Cayman or something similar, and a Formula Renault, where we're trying to lap in good time, learn the track, watch the track guide, that sort of thing. For now, let's get back to my truck and call it a day.